Good morning. Good morning. This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, and welcome to the Success by Any Means Daily webinar. Today, we're going to piggyback on some of the things that we were talking about this week. All week, we're talking about attraction marketing, and this is Attraction Marketing 101, just to give you a basic overview of what attraction marketing is and how powerful it is to building your business. One of my mentors, Mark Harbert, says he wouldn't use anything else for any business he's building from here on out than attraction marketing. But before I get into all of that, how about you cut off your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, cell phone, put it on vibrate, and get your favorite drink or blanket, whatever you got, your favorite snack, and get cozy, because we're getting ready to talk about some really good things. I want your undivided attention. The more energy that you give me, the more energy I'll be able to put back into this webinar. All right. So today we're going to talk about how to bring more value to your leads. And before we get off into that, I just want to introduce myself once again. I already told you my name. My name is Carlton Lewis, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised, or born and reared is the technical word. But just because I was born here doesn't mean I haven't gone anywhere. I've been all over the planet traveling. I was heavy in the music business in my early 20s and 30s, and I still dabble in music today. As a matter of fact, I just got a brand new piece of vinyl delivered to me from some music that we put out 20 years ago that just somehow resurfaced, and I think that's pretty cool. That's like a miracle thing kind of coming around. And actually the title of the project, it was 360 degrees, so everything's coming back full circle. I also have a business degree in business administration, and that's a pretty cool thing. But most of my knowledge comes from street knowledge. I'll say street smart entrepreneurship, and that's not talking about selling drugs or anything like that, but that comes from real. What I mean by street smart, I mean real life, hands-on, boots on the ground education. Back in '96, when I started my record label with some friends, I also started a real estate company around the same time. I got a real estate license back then, and I started investing in real estate back in 1998, 99, 2000, up until like 2004. And, I did fairly well in that. I learned a whole lot of lessons, what to do and what not to do, primarily what not to do. And that's called wisdom. When you start getting experience like that, you start getting wisdom of what to do and what not to do. So in those times, I learned how to operate a business the right way and the wrong way to operate a business. And I was meeting a lot of people, going a lot of places, and I want to share some of these experiences with you today on this webinar. Yesterday, I talked about a book called Magnetic Sponsoring by Mike Dillard. And I was fortunate enough to meet Mike Dillard back in August of 2015 at the annual Live the Dream event that My Lead System Pro hosts every year. And Mike Dillard, he put together this book. He actually learned some things from my mentor, Joe Schroeder, one of my mentors, Joe Schroeder. And he took what Joe taught him and flipped it, put it into a book. And, now he's $50 million richer, from selling, selling things on the internet, selling things online. And, and to be honest with you, most people don't even make $100 online. So to make $50 million is absolutely off the chain. Mike, in his book, he actually breaks down what attraction marketing is. He puts it in print for the layman person to really understand. And he talks about increasing your personal value level. Now, I've talked about increasing your personal value level, or PVL, before, but I learned this concept from Mike, and it just makes sense. And he talks about the three areas where you want to increase your personal value level are going to be your competition. Look at your competition and assess your competition. What can you do to reduce the amount of competition where you are, or in the marketplace for what you do? Is there a lot of competition? I have a day job at the moment, and one of the I came from a position of being a tow truck driver, and to be a tow truck driver, it does require skills, but there are a lot of tow truck drivers out there, so there's competition for that job. The job that doesn't have a lot of competition, that's in the that transportation industry, is dispatcher. A lot of people, well, most people don't want to be the dispatcher. They don't want to be the person, quote unquote, in charge and telling people what to do. So I went from being a tow truck operator to being a dispatcher to being the person who's a leader. It automatically established me as a leader, once I made that move. And what made it even better is that I knew how to do the job that, the guys that I was, leading, I knew how to do the job. And I would also continue to drive from time to time, to get out there into the world and actually drive and help customers in that sense. The second thing he talked about was your skills and your education levels. Like, what are your current skills, like to do? And I'm going to keep on using the tow truck driver example, and maybe you can relate to this in your own life or whatever position you're doing. But with skills, there's a certain skill level that you have to operate the truck. The truck has all kind of gadgets on it. You have to, if you're a really good tow truck driver, you can turn over cars, or you can recover cars from the woods, or I've seen people recover cars out of swimming pools, all kinds of things of that nature, off the side of a cliff, off an embankment, things of that nature. So there are a lot of switches and buttons and common sense type knowledge that you need, a knowledge of physics. We don't call it that in the industry, but it's really physics, because you're working with levers and you're using different things and different tools and angles and things of that nature. So in the real world, you need these skills in order to produce income. Now, the more skills you have, let's say, there's different types of trucks that you can drive. There's a light duty, medium duty, and heavy duty. Now, for each level of truck, there's going to be a different skill required. So the more skills you have at operating the different vehicles, then that's going to increase your personal value level. Now, I told you I drove one of the types of trucks. I drove the light duty type of truck. I never did, move toward the medium duty or the light duty. I moved into the realm of dispatching, which took a different type of skills. It took leadership skills first and foremost. It also took computer skills. And then I had the hands-on experience of being a driver. So that increased my skill level. Plus I had a degree. So that all helped out as far as me managing the operation of the business, making sure the income was coming in, and the drivers were XYZ, one place, the next place, where they were supposed to be, coordinating with customers. See, when you're a driver, you just deal with one customer at a time. But when you're a dispatcher, you deal with all of the driver's customers, and you may deal, where a driver may deal with 8 people in a day, in a 12-hour period, they may deal with 8 to 12 people a day. The dispatcher will deal with about 300 people a day. So there's a big difference, and that moves us to the last concept of increasing your personal value level, and that is leverage. Leverage. As a dispatcher, I had more leverage. I had more things I could quote unquote control. I had an army of drivers basically going out doing different tasks. So I have that ability right at my fingertips. I could call them on the radio or the cell phone, and I have that ability. I can see where they are on the GPS tracking system, so I know where my guys are. I have that leverage. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly where they're supposed to be and how long it's going to take for them to get there. So I have that kind of leverage over my competition, because most people don't have that kind of, I would say, insight and eyesight. Most people don't have that insight and eyesight to be able to look at the situation like that. And I can help more customers as a dispatcher. So my leverage is greater. I can help more customers. One person, I went from helping, like I said, 8 to 12 people in a day to helping about 300 people in a day. And it makes a big difference in your personal value level. So that made me more valuable when I stepped into that role. So let's talk about bringing more value to your leads. So how can you increase your how does increasing your personal value affect your customers, affect your leads? Because they say knowledge is power, but actionized knowledge is really powerful. So here are some questions, and I'm reading this from Magnetic Sponsoring. And if you're in business to build, if you want to build your business online, I'm going to give Mike a plug because this book is phenomenal. It's a quick, easy read. It's worth 10 times more, easily 10 times more than what you pay for it. It's actually, you can get the Kindle version at Amazon for $4.99. That's ridiculous. But if you're serious about building your business, as soon as you get off of this webinar, go over there and get yourself one of these books. You're supporting Mike. Mike doesn't need your money. Like I said, he's made $50 million in online sales, so he doesn't need your money, but you need his knowledge. You need his knowledge. If you don't have it already, if you don't have this book, get it. All right. That's my plug for the book. All right. He says here, it says, I'll tell you what he did. He said, in order to become magnetic, you must increase your value to others through education and experience. Believing and knowing that you hold true value to other people gives you the confidence and the abundance mentality that you need in order to become what he calls an alpha networker. Okay, and that means a leader. When we talked about the alpha leader, the alpha networker, we talked about that yesterday. And so I won't rehash that, but really quick, I'll tell you what it is. Alpha has a certain mindset. When you think of a pack of lions, there's an alpha lion. That person is the leader. He has a certain amount of respect. All right, he's the leader. He's taking people places. He's going in a direction, and the beta people are following him. The beta lions, all the rest of the lions in the pride, they're following him. They look to the alpha for protection, and that's nature. And as beings of nature, human nature, and we're at the top of the animal kingdom, there are alphas. If you look around, you look at leaders in your different organizations, you can look at leaders of countries, leaders, in your family. Those are your alphas. Those are your alphas. So he says, after realizing this, I became a man on a mission. I spent every dime I could on information, courses, and books. I went out and learned marketing skills that others will be unwilling to learn, and in the process, I became extremely valuable to others. I'm going to read that part again, because that is the key to increasing your personal value level, what he just said right here. And are you doing this? How are you increasing how are you increasing your personal value? How are you becoming more? Do you listen to tapes in your car? Well, not tapes anymore. Do you listen to CDs or MP3s in your car? Or are you listening to radio? One thing is growing your mind. The other one is numbing your mind. Trust me, if you're listening to commercial radio, your mind is being numbed and programmed to go buy stuff. So He says, I spent every dime I could on information courses and books. I went out and learned marketing skills that others will be unwilling to learn. And in the process, I became extremely valuable to others. Are you willing to learn something different to increase your personal value level? Now, if you're listening to this or watching this webinar, you are probably out of high school. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I'm going to even go ahead and say that you're probably out of college. And if you are in college and you're listening to this, kudos to you. I wish I had some information like this when I was in college. What are you doing to increase your personal value level? Are you reading books? Right now I have two main books that I'm reading, and I talked about this yesterday. I have a book called Tribal Leadership that I'm reading. And I have another book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. That's a marketing book. So I'm increasing my personal value level. I'm making myself more valuable to my leads. I'm able to share more information to my leads and to the people that follow me and to the people that look to get information from me. I'm becoming more valuable, and I'm showing them how to do it as well. So he says, sit down and ask yourself these questions. How do you bring value to the table right now in the eyes of your leads? Remember, your opportunity doesn't matter. There are thousands of opportunities. How do you personally bring value to them personally, not your business opportunity? No one cares about your business opportunity. I'll be straight up with that. You know, I started network marketing a little bit over a year ago, and oh my God, I went through the people hopping in the witness protection program. You know, you try to call them and you're definitely not getting a response. You know, they're ducking and avoiding you and running around corners to, you know, keep away from you. You know, you call them, leave them a message. They're not going to call you back. They know you're going to talk to them, you know, to follow up with them, and they're just non-responsive. I've been through that. People don't care about that. What they care about is you. Where are you? Because they're going to buy you. Can you teach them? Let's keep going. Can you teach them how to advertise and generate leads? Are you great on the phone during three-way calls? Can you host killer meetings? If you struggle with sponsoring, it's because you don't bring any true value to the table yet. If someone is going to join you, they're looking to acquire some kind of power by associating themselves with you. Hear what he just said. They're looking to acquire some kind of power. They want your energy. So if you're coming to people with a ho-hum energy and you have no value to bring them, that people are looking to associate, people are looking to gain power. People are looking to build allegiances. They're not going to follow somebody that's not going anywhere, that's not going to provide them with some type of value. And that is the God honest truth. That is the God honest truth. Let's keep going. And actually, I wanted to touch on something else. It says, can you teach them how to advertise and generate leads? You know, I learned how to generate leads online, you know, a long time ago, before I even knew it was called leads and all of that stuff. You know, I was thinking it was just a potential customer. I knew how to set up a capture page and all that stuff. I learned how to do that back in 2007. You know, once I got in the network marketing business and, you know, I was bumping my head around on, you know, doing it the traditional way, I learned, you know, I stumbled upon a course, and I talked about this in the webinar yesterday. I stumbled upon a community and a platform called My Lead System Pro. And they showed me how to do something that I already know how to do, but they showed me how to do it better. They showed me how to systematize it, which has basically revolutionized the way I do business. They taught me attraction marketing. They taught me the foundation principles of what Mike Dillard are talking about in this book. And it's teaching other people how to generate leads and sales and how to advertise their business. And if you can do that for people, they're gonna come to you. They're gonna ask you. You'll be surprised. And I talked about this yesterday too, is that people come to me routinely and ask me for help and ask my advice on certain things because I've established myself as the authority. So people want to talk to me. They want to, I'm so serious, and it's so amazing that that this can happen. But I had to learn these principles first. I had to learn these principles first. He goes on to say, if they're not going to gain power of some kind by working with you, they won't work with you. They'll just go find a leader who will provide them with that advantage. People are looking not to take advantage of you, but they're looking for an advantage in their life. That people are looking to get more. So if you get to the point where you become more to more people, become more, that means increasing your value and showing them how they can be more valuable as well. Hello, I hope this is ringing a bell. Then they're going to work with you. Let's keep going. He says, now here's the great part. It doesn't take a lot to increase your value in the eyes of a prospect because most don't have a clue when it comes to building a home business. Have you ever heard the statistics that 95% of businesses fail within the first 5 years? 95%. And the ones that are left within the next 5 years, another 95% of them fail. So you got the odds are stacked against you if you are building a home business. Why do you think there's so few entrepreneurs? There's really, in the grand scheme of things, the ratio of entrepreneurs to employees is skewed way to the advantage. I would say the numbers are greater for the employee side because most people just don't know how to operate a business. Even those that are in a business, a lot of people don't know how to market. Even network marketers. Most network marketers know nothing about marketing. They know nothing about, especially when you start getting into marketing, you start talking about the psychographics and the, demographics and all of this stuff that, that these wizards, these wizards have put together that sit behind computers and they crunch numbers and things of that nature. When you start dealing on that and you start really thinking about marketing a business, and then you start using this stuff, this attraction marketing, talking about alpha and beta, it will blow your mind. The average person is unwilling to learn this stuff. Be the person that is. This is what Mike Dillard is talking about. This is why people come to somebody like me, or they come to my mentors, because they have been willing to learn and do things that other people are not willing to do. And that makes them more valuable, and it establishes them as an authority, and it establishes them as the alpha networker. He says all you need to do is know just a little bit more than they do, and you're instantly in a position of power and value. With that being said, let me share a really big pet peeve of mine when it comes to acquiring value. He says specifically, it's when people send me questions like this. Is this course going to tell me everything I need to know, or am I going to have to buy another book of yours after this? Or I've already bought dozens of books on this stuff and I'm still not successful. Why should I buy your book? He says they will never make it with this attitude and should go back to their job as quickly as possible. They are looking for a book, a tool, a widget, or something else outside of themselves that will finally bring them success. Outside of themselves. You got to have that from within. That's gut level. You got to have heart. You have to make a commitment to be better. I don't know any successful entrepreneurs that just stop learning. That just, is not using what they know, or not even just what they know, but not acquiring more information to become better in their chosen field. I don't. I don't know any of. I can't think of anybody. If you can think of somebody like that, send me a message, an instant message on Facebook. Carlton Lewis. I'll be the guy with the big straw floppy hat. That's my icon. That's my avatar picture there. Send me a message to let me know if you know somebody like that. I don't. I don't. I'm going to keep going. They don't understand that it's not about them or what they'll need to spend on another book. It's about increasing their value to others so that they might serve more people. That's the essence of value right there, delivering value and putting value in the marketplace. Ray Higdon said something in a video I saw once, and the video was called "Why You're Not Making Any Money." And the reason, what he said was because you don't have any value in the marketplace. You haven't put enough value in the marketplace, and therefore you're not making any money. Once you get to the point to where you're putting value in the marketplace, and in this business, in this online networking business that I'm involved in, what that means, and what the community of people that I run with, what that means is putting valuable information out that can help your target market, like this webinar, like a video, a how-to video, like a conference call. I just got off a conference call this morning, like a podcast. I do podcasts, like an Instagram post, a Facebook status update that shares value, not just a picture of you kicking it with your cat. Although all of that's important too, as far as attraction marketing is concerned, because it lets people know that you're a real person. So you're not just business all the time. Like I posted a video up of when I received the vinyl. I think I was just telling you guys about the vinyl record that I got. After 20 years, I got this, this music was actually released. I celebrated that. I put that online with me and some of my friends. We were having a good time. We're in a festive mood. I put that online. But I also put more valuable information to help people online as well. And when you can outmarket people like that, and you're establishing yourself as a valuable person. You're establishing yourself as the alpha networker, the leader, the servant leader, because you're giving. He says, what if I told you that every year I spend $50,000 to $100,000 a year to further my education as an entrepreneur? Would you believe it? Would it make sense to you, or is your jaw on the floor in disbelief? Well, it's true. Between mastermind groups, events, and courses, I spend almost 6 figures per year just to maintain a high level of value to my customers. I talked about, if you want to attract buyers, you have to be a buyer yourself. I'm going to say that again. If you want to attract buyers, you have to become a buyer yourself. You know what? I don't know how much money I've spent on educating myself, especially since I hopped into network marketing, the online marketing, and online networking. I don't know how much money I've spent, like in the last 12 months, but I know I've spent some money increasing my value. I've gone to live events. I've bought books. I've checked out books, and that's spending time. Go to the library. You basically own the library if you're a taxpaying citizen of the United States. So go to the library and get some knowledge. I've hopped on the bus. Some of you may know my mega bus story where, it took 24 hours to get from Atlanta to Austin, Texas for the Live the Dream event. I was dedicated to increasing my value because I knew that if I got to that event, that it would definitely increase my value. And it took my value, boom, up just like that. Crazy. Because I documented it. Number one, I put it on video and I shared it. And I made it a story about overcoming obstacles. And I made it relatable to people. Mike says, I'm smart enough to invest in myself to increase the value of Mike Dillard to the world, because the more valuable I become to others, the more I am pursued. The more valuable I become to others, the more I am pursued. He has become the hunted. He doesn't have to chase people. People chase him. I just got through telling you how, in my own experience, people are coming to me asking me to talk to them about how to do this online, how to do that online. What are you doing? I need help. Can you help me? This is real. This is real stuff, man. This is Attraction Marketing 101. You're getting it right here, live and direct. You're in the right place at the right time. He says the fact that you're reading this course means that you understand this principle to some degree. Don't stop now. Increase your pursuit of value-giving education. Every single successful entrepreneur I know has studied and accumulated information on their industry extensively. I just said this to you probably about 5 minutes ago. The same exact words almost. Without exception, those with the biggest bank accounts also have the biggest personal libraries. And they don't stop learning when they reach their goal. They do the opposite, just like I did. They start spending more, much more. I bought a course. I bought the first module to a course. My Lead System Pro had a course, and I wanted to get better on my phone prospecting skills. I have no problem talking. Did you imagine? I have no problem talking. Look what I'm doing. I've been talking right now for about 25 minutes straight, and that doesn't even include the conference call I did earlier this morning, where I talked for about 15 to 20 minutes straight. And I still got about 15 more minutes to talk on this webinar. I know I needed to learn more about phone prospecting because that's not one of my strengths. It's not. I'm better face-to-face. I could sell ice to an Eskimo face-to-face. I could sell water to a well face-to-face. Seriously. But something about the phone, I've always shied away from the phone. So I wanted to increase my skill level in that area. And it boils down to mindset. And I know that. But I went to an expert, a person who closes people and signs up reps using the phone. Somebody that's a beast, who's an absolute beast at picking up the phone and closing people. So I went and I bought a course on how to do this. This was a couple of days ago. This was like Saturday or Sunday, just this past weekend. Today's Tuesday. So I bought a course on how to do it and how to get the mindset right, because it's a mindset thing. Once I get the people on the phone, I'm fine, So I'm not infallible. I know I'm talking to you on this webinar, but yeah, I got things I need to work on too. But see, a smart person, a wise person, wisdom, wise dome, your head, wise dome. Think about it, wisdom. A wise person is going to figure out what he doesn't know and compensate for it. They'll try to improve it, or they'll compensate in some other area where that makes it, whatever they don't know, insignificant. He says, this book is not the end of your education, it's the beginning. You will never find an end-all, be-all course that will teach you everything you need to know. It does not exist and never will. Only a beta-minded person would seek out a magic lamp of some kind that promises to bring them what they desire. I was just talking to my buddy Mario up in New York earlier today after the conference call, that people look for a one-stop solution, the magic pill. Looking for the magic pill, the fountain of youth that can end all of their worries at one time. It won't happen. He says, when you're buying information, you're looking for just one good idea that you didn't have before. Just one. If that's all you get from a CD set, book, or course, you've gotten your money's worth, because it adds up over time. Don't be afraid to spend big money on marketing courses either. I routinely buy CD and book sets for conference tickets that cost $1,000 to $5,000 each without hesitation, because what I learn always ends up making me much more in the long run. This attitude toward my education was a turning point in my career. It's like a puzzle, and every new resource you expose yourself to adds a few more pieces. Buy every single book you can get your hands on. In the end, success in this industry comes down to just two things. Number one, becoming a leader to others by increasing your value. And number two, acquiring the ability to express your value to the world through marketing. I can give you free leads all day long, but if you don't see yourself as a leader and express those qualities, you'll never sponsor any of them. The greatest benefit this industry provides is not the money, the time, or even the friendships. It's what this industry can make of you, the person you become. And he's talking about the network marketing industry. And that's true. It will make you shine a light on yourself and see where your flaws are. Seriously. Network marketing companies are basically personal development companies in disguise. And that's true, because you have to become a better person. You have to become more you. You have to be more in order to grow in network marketing. I mean, if you're already a superb marketer, I thought I was pretty good till I got into network marketing. and I realized, hey, there's some things I got to learn if I want to be at the top of my game. If I want to be a leader, I can't just say I'm a leader. I want to be a leader. I have to learn how to do what a leader does. And first of all, I have to be it in my mind and be it in being. Be, do, have. And then I'll have the things that a leader has, which is the following. Hello. We all come to the table with the same tools, marketing materials, and systems. You and the strengths you bring to the table are the only unknown factors in the equation. Choosing the right company with the right product and the right marketing system can help you reach your goal faster, just as a sharp axe will outperform a dull one, but it will not determine your end result. My business took off once I decided to simply help others. Even if I didn't know everything, I was going to try and help as many people as I could. I stopped worrying about the marketing plan, the presentation, and all of that stuff. This is the key for most people who are stuck. They are focusing on things like tools, websites, and compensation plans too much, always looking for something outside themselves that will bring success. This is a beta behavior. You want to be an alpha or you want to be a beta? Some people are comfortable being beta. I'm not. And I wasn't. So I knew I had to learn something different. He goes on to say, yet the desire to help people wasn't enough in and of itself. I had to learn how to market so I could get that message and that energy into the marketplace. Intentions are useless without the ability to execute them. But how I market is quite different than anything you've ever seen before, and much, much more profitable. And he dives. He says, so let's dive into the fun stuff. Then he goes into the next chapter. And I'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll talk about that on the next on the next webinar, where he talks about building you Inc., becoming your own brand. I did a whole webinar on branding, how to brand yourself online. And it's branding is a form of it's a part of marketing. It's a part of marketing yourself. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow, or the different webinar. So if you want to learn how to build your business online, I want to give you access to the Top Earner 5-Step Profit Blueprint. The Top Earner 5-Step Profit Blueprint. And go to www.whoiscarlton.com/fire your boss, and you will get instant access to this 19-minute video that will break down exactly the exact steps all top earners use to build their business online. I'm living proof of this. My mentors are living proof of this. And it works if you work it. This is alpha behavior, not beta behavior. Betas, oh man. And there's nothing wrong with betas, man. You can't have one without the other. But your job is to inspire people to get them to the alpha level. Because you're going to have some people that are naturally alpha. You're going to have more people, of course, that are naturally beta. But then you're going to have some people that's going to turn from beta to alpha. But you got to be the leader. Like Mike Diller says, he says you got to become a leader to others by increasing your value, and you have to acquire the ability to express your value to the world through marketing. That's it. That's it. That's how you bring more value to your leads. That's how you bring more value to your leads. Find out what they want, deliver it straight up. You gotta, I was talking to my mom the other day. She's working on a business that she can do online. I'm going to help her with it. And I gave her the question that I've gotten from so many of my mentors, and I was talking about, just a restaurant scenario. If you had a restaurant, what would be the number one thing that you would want to make your business successful? And you get a range of answers when you ask people this question, and people say, well, I want the best tasting food. I want secret sauce. I want an awesome location. I want, beautiful colors in the lobby. I want the lobby to be wonderful, and I want the experience the people have to be grandiose and all that stuff. And the answer to the question, you want a starving market. You want hungry customers. If you find the hungry customer, or what's other people call a school of hungry fish, and you figure out what they're eating, what they like to eat, and you give them that, then you'll never be hungry yourself. And that's what's up. So I hope you got some value out of this webinar. And like I said, I'm going to give you that address again to go and get this free training, this 19-minute video will show you how to fire your boss using these 5 steps. It's the Top Earner 5-Step Profit Blueprint. You can get it at www.whoiscarlton.com/fire your boss. Once you get there, like I said, put in your name and email, and you'll be immediately taken to a 19-minute video that's going to break all of this down. Some of what I've even been talking to you about, you'll see, like, wow, wait a minute. Carlton was right. So that's it, man. I really enjoyed you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. All right. Like I said, you can get in touch with me through my website, www.whoiscarlton.com. I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over Instagram. I'm on SoundCloud now. So I look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to send you, as a matter of fact, I'm going to send you to whoiscarlton.com right now, because this Success by Any Means webinar, daily webinar, is a wrap. All right. You guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.